Hey everyone, welcome back to Colourful Indian. I'm so happy to see you here today because we are going to be getting into Salem and the Witch, the Remastered palette. I have it over here and I can't wait to actually get into this palette and try out the shades with you. So of course this review is going to have product shots. I'm also going to include some swatches so that you can kind of see what the shades are like and how pigmented they can be. And then of course we're going to be creating 4 beautiful looks with the palette. My name is Ranita. I like to do makeup tutorials, reviews, swatches, mental health and lifestyle videos, and I also do Ipsy and BoxyCharm unboxings and sometimes reviews. So if you're interested in all of that, then you can hit the subscribe button, and if you find the video useful, then you may want to check out some other videos on the channel. The Salem and the Witch Remastered palette contains 2 shimmers, 2 satins, 4 duochromes, 2 hollow multi-chromes and 5 mattes. It's been available for quite some time now and the price is $58. You can use a code to get a discount if you're interested in picking the palette up. And you can look and see that the shades are really pigmented. There's just a mixture of finishes and the mattes are very pigmented, just looking at these swatches over here. So if this is something that you're interested in seeing tested out, then stick around because we still have those looks that we need to create. But just initially from doing the swatches, you can see how absolutely gorgeous these are. I'm very interested in seeing how the hollow multi-chromes are going to be performing because these are new shades and they just look really beautiful. The first shade that I'm going in with is the color Spells. It's a deep kind of greeny blue shade, very pretty, and we're just gonna tap this over here. I'm just gonna get a basic shape for now. I just choose to do this because I like getting the colors as true as possible, to the color that I see in the pan, but I know that's not everyone's preference. Not seeing a lot of powder coming out either when I actually tap the pan, so that's a good thing. I'm going with the next shade, which will be Grimoire, and then I'll do the same thing on my eye and we'll move on from there. So Grimoire is a slightly brighter green, which I'm just putting right here on the top, just like that. I'll go in and I'll correct this and then I'll come right back. So yeah, you can see what this looks like. It's very vibrant green. And I'm just going to blend that in with the first shade just so that it looks like it's blending in seamlessly. I am super intrigued by the shade Familiar, and it looks like this on my finger. It's a very beautiful shade and I can see so many shifts of color happening. So I'm gonna apply that right here because I already went in with my NYX mixing medium, and I'm just gonna stamp that on right here so that you can see how this shade looks. It looks really magical in some ways. Like I can see a very strong shift of color already coming through. And I do want to add on a couple more shades. So then I'm going to go in with the shade Paw. Paw is kind of looking like a white kind of shade, but I'm sure that this is Paw. You can see what it looks like. It's very bright. The only thing is it's gone a bit underneath my eye, which I didn't want. I kind of just wanted it on the top here. Hey everyone, this is the finished look, and as you can see the shades are really vibrant. They blended so beautifully, and I did go in with a white base for this plus my NYX mixing medium. So let me give you the makeup details before I give you my thoughts on the first shades that we've tried. So for my mouth, I went in with the shade Vampire by Salem Cosmetics. It's a lip liner and I basically lined my lip with that, and then I went in with Wet Cherry Gloss. This is Disco Cherry by Lime Crime, so it kind of has a white kind of pink thing going on and it's very frosty, and I felt that it matched the shades on my eyes really well, so that's why I used the 2 together. And then for my eyes, I went in with 2 eyeliners. I went in with Colourful Beauty. This is the shade Rain Check. You can see it right over here. It's really beautiful. And I went in with this shade from Temu. It's a blue shade which kind of is right here in the inner corners of my eyes. Also a kind of pastel shade, which is why I included it in the look because I thought that they went well together. Now for my foundation, I went in with the Tone Up Primer by Yensa Beauty, so I went in with that. Then I went in with my Yensa Beauty foundation. This is the same foundation I use for every single look. I don't use that much and it just lasts forever. This foundation goes on and on, so it's a superb foundation. So that's about that really for my foundation. foundation. I went in with the Alva Flower Blusher by Odin's Eye for my blush, so you can see how pigmented that is and how it's looking, and I think that's about it. I didn't really go in for anything else. For my eyebrows, I went in with my Ulak brow kit, and I use this for practically everything, so if you want to pick it up, I do have a code, but it'll only get you free shipping. So I think that's about it. There's nothing really else aside from the rhinestone and the eyelashes, which you can easily pick up on Temu. I always buy the 10 pack, so I get like 10 eyelashes at a time, and it lasts me for forever. Right, so from the palette, we've used 4 shades now. So I went in with Paw, with this one, with Familiar, which is that one over there, and this one over here. So we've done 4 shades. Honestly, I really liked working with all of them. The mattes were really pigmented, very easy to move around, very easy to blend, and I just really liked that they were pretty much true to what I'm getting in the palette with my P. Louise base. Familiar was easy to get onto my eye. I used my finger to apply it, as you would have seen in the video, and I feel like it's beautiful. It's a stunning, gorgeous shade. Now the shade Paw over here, which is this, it is emollient. It does move around quite a bit, and it is kind of, I think, a bit flaky. So I would say that, you know, trying to get it in that inner corner was a little bit challenging, but I really like the shade. I think it's very, very pretty, and I'm just going to go in again with the same brush and just add a little bit as some highlighter here so that you can kind of see how that looks. So it actually reminds me an awful lot of my lip gloss, the shade Paw. So yeah, you can see what that looks like. It just adds something to the look, I think. So it's very pretty. You could use this as a highlighter if you wanted to. I mean, I used it in the inner corners, and you can see how bright the inner corners look. You can go and touch that up a bit, but yeah, I think that it worked pretty well all in all. I want to go and try out other shades. I'm super impressed by the shade Familiar, which is this one over here. It changes color, and you should be able to see like changes in color happening right there. See, even in the mirror you can see the change in color. Hey, welcome to the second tutorial. So I'm going to be going in with some shades. I think I'm going to be going for a pink kind of look right now. So I'm going in with the shade My Shadow first, which is a really, really vibrant pink, as you can see over here. And I'm just going to be tapping that right over here at the edge of my eyes. And you can see how pretty that shade is looking. Now I'm going in for the shade Little Witch, which is a kind of lighter pink. So I'm going to just tap a little bit of that just over here. You can see how it looks. It's really, really bright and so beautiful. It's a thrill actually working with this. I think I'm going to deepen that pink with the shade Hex, which is a very deep purple. It looks like this. So we're just going to put some of that right here and kind of deepen up the look. Look at how easy it is to blend this. It's just so, it's crazy how good this is. The formula is so good. I'm very, very impressed right now. I'm going in for the shade Alter. This is what it looks like, and honestly it is so beautiful. I have no idea how this is gonna look, but I'm pretty excited because it does kind of look pink in some light. Just, oh my goodness, look at that. So I already went in with my NYX mixing medium, okay? But just, this is so pretty. It is so beautiful. And I'm gonna stamp it onto this eye too. But oh my goodness. Wow. What a beautiful palette. So Alter is working really smoothly. And when I stamp my shade onto the base, the majority of the product's actually getting onto my eye, which is a really, really good thing. Hey everyone, this is the second look, so it's definitely like the more pink, purple, and blue look. I haven't really done a look like this in a while, but I was pretty happy about it, and it kind of matches one of my favorite tops, so yeah, decided to pair the two together. So let me give you the makeup details. So for my foundation, I went in again with my Yensa Beauty, then I went over that with my Fold Out Face palette. This is by Woosh Beauty. I absolutely love using this, so I use this to blend out the eyeshadows on the top. It's just so easy and so simple. I use the blush from this as well. and then I used you know, a setting powder to kind of go and set, you know, a little bit of my makeup here and there. But I'm actually fine with my face looking, you know, kind of glossy as well, because I feel like that's more realistic, since, you know, that's how our faces are when we're not wearing makeup. So anyway, makeup details for the eyes. Okay, so I went in with this eyeliner. This is from Temu. It costs 72 cents and it's really pigmented. So I went in and I did wings over here with that, and it's a really good eyeliner. I think it's worth it. If you see these eyeliners on Temu, they're worth it. I use them all the time and they're so pigmented and they're so good. From my other eyeliner here, I went in with another Temu eyeliner. It's one of the ones that looks like a Kaleidos one. So I had actually done this in a Temu haul, so you can go and check that out there if you want. It's basically pretty good. They basically look like Kaleido eyeliners, but they're not. So they just kind of give you one color and that's about it. But I felt like it matched the whole vibe of this, so I thought, yeah, let me just go in with that. For my lips, I wanted to keep it simple since the eyes are pretty dramatic. So I went in with Nomad, and this is the Provence color. I mean, this is the Provence gloss and it's in the shade Lavande. So when they came out with the Provence palette, they had lip glosses, and this was one of them. And it's really nice. I noticed that it was a bit more sticky than usual though, like after all this time. So yeah, my lips are really sticky right now, and I'm not always a fan of sticky lip glosses. Okay, so I think that's about it. I don't have any other makeup details for the bases. I always, if you see me using a white base, it's always from P. Louise. I went in with this base today. For the first look as well, I use the same base. And then of course for the shimmers, I always go in with my Multitasker medium. So that's this one. It is by NYX. This is for anyone that has oily eyelids. It is just excellent because it just keeps the eyeshadow there and it's really tacky and stuff. And yeah, I don't see significant creasing or any creasing actually as I'm looking at my makeup. So I can bring you in a bit closer and you can see for yourself what the eyeshadow is looking like. So it's really superb. And these are the holographic shades. So when I actually come in again like this, you can see the shifts in color. You can see gold and you can see pink, purple, blue. So this is a very, very sunset kind of shade. I even see a bit of green actually, now that I come to think of it. It's just such a stunning shade, really, really beautiful. We went in with My Shadow and Little Witch as the three mattes actually. We did this one, Hex, and Little Witch. So all of those worked beautifully. They were easy to blend out, super pigmented as you could probably see. And then for the two shades that I used, we did Best Friend over here and we did Alter, which is right over here. They also worked absolutely beautifully because you can see Best Friend in the inner corner. That beautiful pop of blue is Best Friend, and it is such a gorgeous shade. It makes me feel like a butterfly. It's a lovely one. This is definitely more textured, Best Friend. So if you pick Best Friend up, just know that it is a bit more emollient than the holographic shade formulas. It kind of is a little similar to Paw, but I would say Paw is more emollient because you can see how it looks like here. And this one's not really like that. It was pretty simple to kind of get it out, and it is textured though. It's just I think using a finger to get the shade onto your eye would be a lot better, because when I was trying to pick it up with a brush, it wasn't really working as well. So we're going in first of all with the shade Grimoire, which is this, and I'm gonna tap that shade all over here. I want to go in for like a greener look this time. Now I'm going in with Spells. We're just gonna deepen that a bit. Not too much, because I don't want this looking like very similar to the first look that we did. I think that's about enough. I'm going in with the shade Salem also. It's a pretty pink, as you can see. And I'm going to use that as my inner corner shade. You can see how that's looking like on a white base. This is the shade Magic. It's really, really pretty. And I'm going to stamp it in the inner corners. It's a shimmer shade. As you can see, it's a very, very beautiful green. Very unique. I like that shade a lot. I'm now going in with Cauldron, which is more textured, and this is the green. It's really, really gorgeous. It's so sparkly and it has texture, and it's working fine with a brush. I'm able to pick it up, but it definitely has bigger flakes in this eyeshadow. And I think right at the end I'm gonna put in Potion. Potion also is a little bit of a green, but it also goes into purple, so it'll be a very interesting combination. Wow, that purple is so pretty. Really looks nice. Hey everyone, so this is the third look, and we have basically actually used all the shades now from the palette on my eyes. I may do a fourth look. If it's not in this one, it'll probably come out later, but basically I wanted to give you my thoughts on the shades that we did use for this one. So I'm going to start with Cauldron and Potion. So Cauldron was the beautiful green that went onto my eyes, so it came on so strong, and I just wasn't expecting that color at all. I don't know why. I kept thinking I was going to get more of a sea green, but then when it actually came out, it was so sparkly and so gorgeous, and you can still see that color showing up over there. It's kind of become a sea green when I move my eyes now, and I feel like because I went in with that sea green shade as well, it's kind of going more into that. And then of course we've got the shade Potion, which is over here. It's a purple that kind of goes into a teal as well. So if I bring my mirror over here, you should be able to see some shifts happening right at the end of my eye. I can certainly see something happening there because I can see changes in color. I can see a bit more gold and stuff happening there. So it's a really pretty shade. Now Cauldron is definitely a flaky shade. If you look at it, you can see the texture. And Potion is different. It's not like that. It's actually more flat. It's easy to get the shade onto your eyes and smooth it over and everything. Haven't had any problems with that. Magic and Tootsie, which are these shades over here. So this is the inner corner shade, and then Tootsie is that shade that I've used right over here underneath my eyes. They're kind of like a drier shimmer formula. So let me just show them to you. This is kind of what they look like. So it's Tootsie is not even a very strong shimmer, to be honest. It kind of looks more like a matte when I'm looking at it like this. It's not a very super metallic shade. It's still very pretty though, and you can see that, you know, that's how I got that pink underneath my eyes. I just thought, you know, since we just have one more shade left, let me just go ahead and add Tootsie into this and finish it up. But yeah, you can see what it looks like. And what else did we use? We used Grimoire, and we also used Spells and Hex for this. So yeah, quite a few shades in this look. This one, and that one right over there. So I think the only remaining shade right now is Chalice. We're gonna do one more look, and you know, I will just have some fun there and create one more look. But basically I think I'm getting a pretty good feel of the palette. You've got a nice mixture of different textures, tones, and finishes as well. And I have to say that my two favorite shades at the moment are definitely Familiar over here and this one right over here, because, you know, these have very strong shifts. That's the first thing. And the other thing is that the finish is just so beautiful and so smooth, and it's just very satisfying when you put the shades onto your eyes and they just look so beautiful. So I think those two are definitely winning for me at the moment. But yeah, we still have one more look to do, so we're gonna finish that up, and then I will give you my thoughts on the full palette. I forgot to give you the makeup details, so let me just give that to you real quick before we go. So makeup was Yansa Beauty again for the foundation, and then I went over that with my Woosh Beauty palette. I used a lot of the Woosh, including the blush that you can see, which is a little shiny over there. I used my Woosh Beauty palette for that as well. And then for my lip gloss, I went in with a shade from Black Opal. This is the shade Champagne Life. I didn't want to kind of overdo my mouth because the eyes are again very dramatic and very colorful, so I thought a more neutral lip would be the perfect thing for this look. And even the blush, as I said, it's from Woosh Beauty palette. So yeah, it's a pretty simple look. The eyeliner over here is actually Hollyberry. It is a Kylie Jenner lip pencil, and I really enjoy using it as a eye pencil because it's just so bold. So I kind of feel like it ends up being very dramatic and just perfect for a wing. Hey everyone, so we're now going in for the 4 tutorial. I'm going in with the shade Hex first. So as you can see, I'm not using a white base for this. I've only gone in with my NYX Mixing Medium and a little bit of castor oil on my eye. And yeah, we're just going to start by putting the shade Hex onto my lids. Going in with the next shade, which is Chalice over here. It's a very, very bright purple, and I just want to mix it over here with Hex. And just take it a bit higher so that you get a bit of that blended, you know, color coming through. Again, if you use this with a white base, you're going to get a much brighter purple over there. This shade Chalice is a little bit crumbly. As I put my brush in, I do see a bit of, you know, powder and stuff coming off. Okay, so now we are going to go in with the shimmers. I already applied my NYX multitasking base, so I'm going to be going in with 2 shades. I think I'm going to take Potion. Potion looks absolutely gorgeous, and I really do love the shade. It's a really, really nice formula. It's not like the kind of formula that's going to move around in the pan. It's actually really, really nice and just staying where it, you know, needs to stay. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. I wanted a nice purple shade to go with this, so I'm gonna leave that here. Okay, and now I'm taking the shade Alter. We've already used that, but I'm gonna be using that in my inner corner, so I'm just stamping it right here. Hey everyone, this is the finished look, and as you can see, it looks so beautiful and so purple. I can see really beautiful shifts in the shades as well, so I'm just grabbing my light, and you should be able to see a really, really beautiful green coming through. Yeah, there it is. You can see that. This is, the shifts are just so strong and so beautiful. I'm really happy with the last look and the way that it turned out. I'm pretty happy that the last look was also a look that I did without a base. So let me just give you the makeup details. I was very, very simple for today. I only used my Bobbi Brown vitamin enriched face base, so I went in with that as my primer. I went over that with my Yensa foundation. Now this is the same foundation I use for practically every single look. It is in the shade Tan Neutral. And for my lips, I went in with a Salem Cosmetics product. This is the shade Celeste. And yeah, it just looks like a normal gloss. It's got a few purple kind of glitters that do show up every now and then, but it looks very much like, you know, just a clear gloss with some sparkles. So obviously the win of the, you know, entire look is the eyeshadow. It's absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous, and I'm now ready to give you my detailed review on the Remastered palette, and I can't wait to share all of my thoughts with you on this. So if you're ready for that, then, you know, this is going to be that section. So we have actually used every single shade in here. We have done 4 looks. It's been a lot of fun. You've seen, you know, a lot of the different combinations that we could get. I wanted to do a purely purple kind of look for the last one. I mean, it looks like it's a purple look, doesn't it? When you're looking at it like this, you don't really see the green. And then when you pick up, you know, a different, when you actually get the light hitting this look at a different angle, you can actually see that green, and it is such a strong green. It is just crazy how beautiful this is. If you want to look at that closer, this is what it looks like. Yeah. The green is absolutely insane. So I'm going to be rating the palette now, going through a few different things. So if you really want like my detailed thoughts on this, then, you know, stick around and let's talk about this. So first thing I want to talk about is the formula. Now the mattes are definitely very blendable, very creamy, very pigmented. I don't feel like these are hard to work with shades, not by any means. You know, they just work so easily. They show up so well. You saw how I was working with these shades, so I have no problems with them whatsoever. Now I kind of like the formula of these, you know, shimmers as well. I feel like they're different a bit. So this one was a bit emollient over here. Paw was emollient, but I didn't feel like Familiar, Best Friend, Potion, Cauldron, and Alter, like all of these, I didn't feel like they were very emollient. And now Tootsie over here, even though I know Tootsie is technically like a shimmer shade, it's kind of very much like a matte to me, even though yes, it is a shimmer shade, but it kind of comes across more as a matte with sparkles. So that's how I'm taking it. You can take it however you want to take it. Now let me talk about the holographic shades. So these are the two. They're super creamy, super easy to get onto your fingers, onto your eyes. You're not going to have a problem blending these out. I didn't have a problem with them, and they are very pigmented. You definitely get beautiful shifts from those colors as well, so I'm very happy with them. Now, if you're coming into Best Friend and Cauldron over here, they suddenly have a bit more texture. They have more texture than the other shades, you know, the other shimmers in this palette. And then of course Potion kind of reminds me, like the formula reminds me of like the latest Simply Posh Cosmetics palette that I just tried, which was the Cozy Cabin Holiday Edition. You know, I was talking about how those duochromes were just solid in the pan. They were not moving around or anything, but when you use them, you would get such beautiful color payoff. And I've kind of felt like this reminded me of that. Now, these shades over here reminded me of just the general duochrome kind of formula that, you know, you see. It kind of does look textured. It's kind of soft. And then when you actually get them on your eyes, you know, sometimes they can have texture. So I felt like Best Friend and Cauldron were exactly like that. In fact, you probably just saw on my fingers that Cauldron had texture. So the way that it comes off, it can be a little bit flaky, but I don't feel like any of this was actually like a problem for me personally. I actually really liked the way that all of the formulas worked. I was very happy with the looks that I did. I thought they were absolutely gorgeous and stunning. I'm sure that you could do a lot more looks with this palette as well, meaning that it's generally quite versatile. If you want to create, you know, some grungier looks, you can do that. If you just want to create like one-tone looks, you could do that as well. So I kind of feel like it's a pretty versatile palette. It's beautiful. I really enjoy it, and I really like those shimmer shades. I like all of them, the duochromes, everything. All of that was absolutely gorgeous and really, really stunning. And I just like the overall color story as well. Pigmentation was wonderful. You saw how those 4 looks looked, and I was very happy with them. So I'm giving that a 10 out of 10. Longevity, how long does it last? Was there creasing? I didn't really experience it. I mean, you can look at my eyes and you can see there's nothing happening. It's working pretty well, and I'm very happy with the formula. So I would say that, yeah, I'm very happy with that, and I think it's a really, really good formula. I'm happy with the shades. I think that this works pretty well on a clear base, and I kind of feel like it also works beautifully on a white base. So honestly, if you want the truest color in the palette, you need to just end up using a white base, or if you're naturally fair, then yay for you. Color story, good. Color story was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed the color story. I think it's beautiful. I think it's fun. And I like the fact that, you know, those beautiful shimmers in there that change shades and everything. I kind of feel like all of that just makes a big difference for me, because you're getting more than just, you know, purples and pinks over here with these color changing eyeshadows. So yeah, I was really happy about that. I was really happy with the multi-chromes, duochromes, everything in here was just absolutely wonderful. And I really like the color story because I'm more drawn to cool tones. So if you're someone who likes that, then you're probably gonna enjoy this palette. And you know, I kind of feel like purples, I've never really liked a lot of purple shades, but I really like the formula of these purples because they worked very well. They really do, and it was so nice to blend them out. I wasn't getting like a patchy kind of thing from them, so I'm very, very happy with this, you know, like the purples from this particular palette. I think that this palette works beautifully, not just for like, you know, the early fall or maybe even Halloween. I kind of feel like this works nicely for summer. The colors would look very nice in summer, and I certainly think that you could make those shades work for Christmas as well, because the holographic shades are just beautiful. Look at this blue, it's just so pretty, and it looks like a pink in other lightings, you know, so it's kind of like you could make that work for Christmas and just use that one shade with, you know, maybe a different palette or even the same palette, and you're just gonna have a really beautiful eyeshadow. So I'm very grateful that Salem Cosmetics actually gifted this to me and allowed me to play with it and give you my thoughts on it. I hope that this has given you some insight into how the palette works, and if it has, then you can use my code Ranita. It's a non-affiliate code to get 10% off. And you know, you can pick up this palette yourself. This is an indie brand, and you know, I think that it's really, really good quality. It really is. I think you won't be disappointed picking up this particular palette. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this palette. I'm happy with it. I'm very grateful that I got a chance to try it. And that's all I have to share. If you want to go check out some other Salem Cosmetics videos, you can check out the indie makeup brand playlist that I have on my YouTube. And if you would like to subscribe, that would be awesome, because you know, that means you get to see more of me and I get to see more of you. So yeah, thank you for joining me today. I'll see you soon for another makeup video, and I hope that you have a wonderful week. Bye.